Thank you.
Okay, so I'm just gonna keep sharing. Yeah, so we're live. There's no one on here, so we just need to keep sharing and sharing. It's so quiet. Because of copyright issues, I tend not to play music anymore. But some days I'm just like, I beg, I'm just gonna play music. Music just puts you in a vibe.
Yeah, when there's music, the whole environment, the
It,
atmosphere is
cha-
different.
yes. So I think what, I think I'm just gonna play the music. I mean, worst case scenario is you can't monetize the
Yeah.
yeah play the music. I mean, worst case I'm on YouTube, so we're just gonna play music while we wait for a few more people to come so that they come to some boogie. What's your favorite? What's hot now in PE? Because us, for those of us out here, it's mainly old music. Because if I'm going, I'm just gonna play some really old music.
Asaba just dropped a new song today. Dodo Kido. The video just dropped this
Asaba
afternoon.
do Kido. Okay, I've never heard of Asaba. Is that like a new singer?
Maybe Asaba made big dreams, Moiserev.
I've never heard of her.
Asaba, Asaba.
I've been dancing to this song since morning.
Another man, another man,
Meanwhile, keep sharing.
Yeah.
the lie, I want make this money, no heritage. Daddy don't leave me no paper. For my head, I did check all the radar. I did find my own in any way I can.
Hi. Oh, people have joined. Hello. Welcome to the show, guys. Good evening.
That music came on Avenue. I just sing God and me pass. This photo go down.
We're listening to Asaba and we are sharing the show. So MC Dibenja is right there, ready to roll. So please share. We just want to get a few more people, get about 15 to 20 live views, and then we start. So please be a darling. Share. Hi, Shanti. My bestie is there. I hope you have shared, Shanti. So please share. We are all here and we're waiting for you. So tell a few friends. Let's come and talk about this. I'm sharing and I hope you are too.
Work hard, my brother, work hard. I'm on my sister, I'm alone. Happy till I get fools in the thing yet.
So I hope you're sharing. Invite a few more people. We want to talk about something really, really powerful, and we hope that a lot more people can join and add their voice to us so that we all make change. You know how we do it here on the Goretti Show? That was Asaba. I've never heard of her. MC Dibenja just introduced MC Dibenja just introduced me to Asaba. So I'm going.
She's a great artist. She's a very great artist.
She is. I've never heard of her. But anyway, if you're watching, welcome to the Goretti Show. I'm so pleased to have you here. Our guest is here. Young, very handsome, dynamic young man. Did I say young? I'm going to say young again. Dynamic man who is joining us from Cameroon. Which town are you joining us from?
Booyah.
Hey, what's up?
Legendary and hospitality.
That's my hometown. So how's Boya this evening?
But it's good. It's just cold, music everywhere. Like, people are enjoying their life.
That's how I like Boya. Cold, that rain. I like a summer. How do they call it?
Rainy season.
Rainy season. I love rainy season. I miss the rain I miss the rain. Sorry, I'm sharing. I mean, if you're here, let us know you're here. Say hi in the comments because I can see a few people watching live. So just say hi in the comments, and we're going to be starting in about a minute. But at least it will be good because the message is so important. It would be good for us to have a few more people. So please, 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 please be a darling and share. Hi, Rita. Where are you joining us from tonight, Rita Sikot? Hi. Have you? I hope you have. You're obligated to share to at least 5 of your friends personally in their inbox. Hi, Sheila. Thank you for joining. If you're here for MC Dibenja, don't leave without liking our page. If you're watching us on YouTube, don't leave without subscribing. This is the show. It's hosted every Wednesday at 8 p.m. On YouTube Live and Facebook Live. And really all we do here is learn through our shared experiences. That's it, not 2 things. So we try and keep it really positive and encouraging, and we try and keep the conversation civil. So we agree to disagree, but in our disagreements and discussions, we learn and we continue to learn from each other. So that's what we do here every Wednesdays at 8 p.m. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, right, MC Dibenja?
Of course, guys, please subscribe to the Goatee Show on YouTube and make sure you like all the social media handles. Everywhere you see the Goatee Experience Goatee Show, you need to do that because that's what we do. We support each other, of course.
That's right. That's right. We support each other. Okay, so we are a few of us in now, so we're going to start. So welcome once again. I'm so pleased. Hello, for real. Hello, mommy. My mom's watching. Hi, Rita. How's Wokingham this evening? Is it as dreary as London looks? This today has just been dull. But anyway, hi, Immaculate is watching from the Northern Cape in South Africa. Welcome to the show. So, guys, we're here tonight with a young man whom I have followed. I actually, MC Dibenja, how you came on my radar was during Biggie 237, which was I guess Cameroon's experiment on the Big Brother series, right?
Yeah.
And it was really good. It was well promoted, and there was a lot of chatter on social media about it. And so that's when I came. But I think it's Nora Brown who brought you to my radar because she used to support you and like your stuff and say we should vote for you, even though she had a few other people that she supported. So that's how you came on my radar. And since then, I've been just following you and seeing how you're growing from strength. Like, you didn't win the show, but like, to me, you're like the biggest person of the show. Yeah.
We can't really say the biggest person. I'm just trying my own best. I mean, other people are doing stuff. It's because some people have gone. Some people are not into entertainment. Some of the housemates over there are not into entertainment, and some of them are doing their other businesses elsewhere. I think a lot of people are doing great. So just that some of us are in the media, and then we get to be seen like.
So we see you more, I guess. So I guess that's what I mean by the biggest. But what how did you get on that show? How did you hear about it? How did you even get on it?
So I got into the show. I was traveling from Douala to Boya one day. Mm-hmm. I was working for Nikki Heat at that time. So I was traveling from Douala to Boya. Mm-hmm. And then I kind of like met somebody in a cab. And then she was looking at her phone and watching some videos. Mm-hmm. There was a whole Big Brother up kind of thing that she was watching. So I saw it, and it was like a reportage or something. Oh. So I told her if I could see it, and then she said okay. And I saw it, and then she told me that this was just a testing phase, but they want to actually take it national. So they want to do it national. So I'd be like, okay. She showed me the Facebook page. I should like it, and then stay there for more information that's going to be posted there. I said, okay, I can't really remember that lady today because I didn't actually exchange contacts with her. So I can't really remember who she was. Yeah. But like somebody who has always I loved everything that has to do with entertainment, everything that has to do with TV, reality. Yeah. Somebody who has loved it. I always tried to apply for Big Brother Africa back in the days, but Cameroon cannot be part of Big Brother Africa when it was still there. They could not because of our French nature. And so I've always wanted to, and I've applied a series of other reality TV shows in Nigeria. I've tried Big Brother Nigeria, but other reality TV shows in Nigeria I've applied a couple of times. Yeah. So this was just like an opportunity for me to actually get to experience what I've always wanted to experience. So I waited when I saw the information on the platform. I actually applied, and then I was selected. So that's how I got to the show. I was selected to the voting process, and then the voting process, because there's a phase 1,
Mm-hmm.
which is a voting process,
Mm-hmm.
and I made it through the voting process,
Mm-hmm.
and I was voted into the house, and then so that's how I went to the show.
Wow. So what's your motivation for wanting to be on all of these reality shows?
I am somebody who likes communication. Like I like communicating with people, right?
Mm-hmm.
I knew that, okay, because we all in the world, we have our different, we come into this world, we have our different areas where we belong, that we can reach out to people.
Yeah.
I believe that me being out there, talking to people, being out there on TV, because I get to reach a lot of people. I get to reach more people. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, a reality TV show is a very big platform that can actually uh, get your face out there, get you to get a lot of people to know you out there, and you can get to talk. You can get to be an opinion leader. You can get to have an opinion.
Yeah.
You having an opinion, you can get to help people, because
Yeah.
I come from a place where I come from a place where I come from Bokoso in Boko in the south region, and
In
my
fact,
area is not. Yes, in part in Fako and part in Meme.
oh, okay.
So yeah, so my
Okay. That's just Wayne. But just to let you know that he's joining us from Boya. So but it's getting interesting. I really so just hang in there. He's right back. It's getting interesting. I hope yeah, he's back.
my area is one of those areas in Cameroon where you would hardly you hear little about, but a lot comes from there. I mean, we do agriculture, cocoa farming was done there. There's
Mm-hmm,
timber. There's
mm-hmm,
a lot that comes from my area. I mean, there's plantain, there's cocoyam, and everything. Most of these guys and the government are out on stuff. They have farms there, but there's little or nothing spoken about where I come from,
mm-hmm,
and it's really abandoned. I mean, so I,
mm-hmm.
I feel I feel like being out here, I'm going to be like the mouth of like the face of my people.
I
Just
love
out.
that. I actually like that. That's really well thought out. I really, really, really love that you're trying to represent your your
Yeah.
tribe and let the rest of us know that you guys exist and there's a lot that's been done there. I actually, that's I feel like that's a really noble reason to want to be noble, would the word be motivation, to want to be in, would I call you a celebrity? Because you kind of are a celebrity. And he's frozen again. But we're going to make this work, guys. Don't
No,
leave.
I'm there.
Oh, you're
I'm just
here.
waiting.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I really like that motivation. That's really good. And if you have a few of your fans who are watching, so hi guys.
Hi
So, but
guys.
we want to talk about something serious, and because recently you posted it, and that's why I contacted you, because you guys, the tribe, hello tribe, good evening. You know how much we've been going on, banging on about how much we need more men to talk. We need our men to be more open. We need our men to be, we don't need them to be women, but we just need them to talk a bit more, because so many men are suffering in silence. And yeah, so when you made that post about having been depressed immediately after what was meant to be one of the biggest opportunities of your life, I was just so happy, that you talked about that. And your post followed Ambe the singers. He followed his post about maybe like a few weeks after he posted that, and I was just like, gosh, we need to talk about this. These two, I am just so happy. What tell me a bit more. First of all, how did you get the courage to come and be so vulnerable on social media?
Can you question again?
How did you get the courage to be so vulnerable on social media?
The thing is, I was because today, once you try to say something, especially something like this, people get to feel like you're trying to maybe call for pity. You need to be strong, and you need to gather your shit together. You don't need to talk out there. And not everybody has to know what you're going through. So the thing is, I didn't want to do it. Because I'm somebody. If you look at the way I always seem happy all the time. Like I
You're
always want you to
always
know I'm happy.
smiling. You're
Yeah,
always
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I didn't want to do this. I didn't want. For me, I thought that doing this is gonna make me weak. It's gonna make me feel like it's gonna make me feel vulnerable, right? But the advice I got was that it's gonna help me. It's not gonna be easy because when I put it out there, I'm gonna get people who come at me saying like all these sort of negative things like, okay, what do you want to tell us? Like, what are you saying and things like that. When I attract pity, but what I was told was the bigger part of it is that you're gonna feel better,
Yeah.
letting it out. Because trust me, this is I've never even I have very close people around me like Joan, like Longe. These are people that I basically live my day-to-day life with. But trust me,
Hmm.
even them did not know what I was going through. They don't know
Yeah.
what I am going through.
Of course, I understand that, and
Yeah.
for those who are
I
just joining,
so when I
we're talking about depression here because he admitted to having been depressed after what was meant to be like the biggest opportunity of his career so far. So yes, go on.
so when I did the post and everybody was like, even up to last night, up to yesterday, we were together and then some of my guys were like, "Are you sure? When was that?" I stopped, and then I'd be like, I was the only one that was going through what I was going through, and I saw the symptoms and I knew that okay, I needed help. Sometimes some people who have my contacts, they would testify that I used to cry on my status sometimes, like cry out for help on my status sometimes. But some people would look at it, and then I had a couple of people who would actually talk to me like, you know what,
So when you say
you
cry
know,
out, what would you say on your status?
sometimes I'll be like, okay, I'll feel because some of the symptoms that some of the things I went through was I felt like I said on my post, I felt like I was alone. You know,
Yeah.
I felt like I was being abandoned and nobody cared.
Yeah, you
Yes,
said something really powerful. You said you will
everybody.
be you will be in the midst of people laughing and joking, and you would be the loneliest person in there.
Yeah, when I'm in that kind of place, when I everybody, and then I go back to myself, to my home, or go back, I'm sitting alone. I'm all alone. Like I'm all alone. I'm not thinking about stuff in my head alone, and it's like my head is busting the next minute. And sometimes I'll post on my status. I'll be like, I want to talk to anyone, and anyone like anyone up for a chat. And sometimes
Yeah,
people will just ignore and pass through and go through and feel like maybe I'm just jobless and I just need someone to talk to. But I was really in pain. I still go through those things today, even right up to this point where I feel like I just sit and be like, anyone up for a video call, anyone up for a call, like I just want to talk to somebody.
yeah,
I get really lonely in the midst of people. This particular one didn't start today because my childhood, right? The way I grew
yeah.
up, I grew up with my uncle. My uncle, yeah, he was a teacher, and before stepping to my uncle's place, I used to be a very tiny kid. You look at my size now, you just imagine how I was when I was a
You're
kid.
still tiny. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So I used to be very small. So I used to be humiliated by friends in the quarter. I used to be beaten. I used to be maybe thrown inside that. So I was very. At one point in time, I felt like I was the only one who had my back. I just had nobody had my back. So I had to insist to my parents. You know what? I want to leave this place. I want to go somewhere else because I couldn't survive among my friends. Up to this point, my parents don't really understand why at 8 year old we just get up one morning and say that I don't want to school here anymore. I don't want
Hmm.
this is Africa. This is Africa where kids don't have that kind of liberty to actually decide on their own. But
Hmm.
I was 8 years old and I told my parents, you know what, I can't cope anymore here. Can't
Did
stay
you
here
tell
anymore.
Did you tell them that you were being bullied? Did they
I
know?
did not. I did not. That's one thing I did not. I never did. I just kept it to myself, like, you know what, I can't continue here like this. I can't go to school here. I just want to go out. I'm going to go be my granddad. And when I left the village, went to my granddad, that was in Limbe, and then a few weeks later, I was living just with my granddad. A few weeks later, he passed out. He passed out and then passed away, and I had to go live with my uncle.
Oh dear.
And my uncle, the kind of person that he is, he's a very strict uncle. I can't say because some of us sometimes will call it wicked, but I don't like calling that. I just call it strict. He was a very strict kind of uncle. You were not allowed to make friends. You're not allowed to, it's from the house to school. I was schooling in Jikwa, in the Northwest. It was from the house to school and back. If you were caught even playing like just around the corner, caught in the compound, it was a whole problem. So that was just me. keeping myself in one space for more than 5 years. For more than 5 years, I was just like that. Yeah, that experience affects me up to this point. I'm still trying to make friends. I really don't have friends. I
We're
really don't have friends.
because we are
So
shaped by our childhood events, like the events that the events that happen to us in our childhood that are really significant. They shape the adult that we become.
yeah. So at these days, so when all that moment, when all this moment after Biggie, before Biggie, and I had a whole issue with family because my family got displaced because of the crisis. Our house got burned down, and my mom was homeless, my siblings and everything. So all of that was in my head. I'm the first child. So
Oh,
all of that was in my head and trying to think about stuff, trying to think about stuff, how family's gonna cope. I mean, how am I gonna cope, how family's gonna cope and everything. So when the opportunity presented itself for me to go to the show, I almost did not go because our house got burned down in March, in April, right? And
yeah.
then we're supposed to go to, that was just few months then after we were supposed to go in for the show. I almost did not go for the show. But I said to myself that people have spent money to actually vote for me to go to the show.
Yeah.
This could be an opportunity to change my family's status. I mean, I could go to this show and win the money, and it could help my family. So I saw it like a job opportunity for me to go to do. So going to the show already, I already had this particular thing that I had built that I wanted. You know, and you know what? I want to go into this show. I want to make money to come help my family and stuff. So when I saw that that was not happening,
Mm-hmm.
everything turned. Like
Mm.
I started having regrets. I started having sleeping. I couldn't sleep. Started thinking about I'm a failure. I started thinking about how I failed, that I would have better stayed out, not going to the show. I would have stayed out maybe to hustle something else to maybe get money for the family, because I got at the show empty-handed. Nothing was given like a compensation or nothing. Nothing is given to the show as a compensation. You get out, as you get in, you get out. No single fan is given to you. So, and I came back. All of this was in my head, like always was in my face. I started feeling underachieved. Started feeling like, okay, I was disappointed. I started feeling all this sleep difficulties. I couldn't sleep for days. I was going pale. When I got out of the show, I was for 3 months. I didn't go to my mom. I didn't see my family for 3 months after the show. I could not go there because I felt like I'm going to meet them now. What am I going to show for? Like I'm just going to see them, just going to greet them, and that's all. I mean, so it was a whole difficult situation for me. And then I sit down, I always call them on phone. One day, one made me to go see my mom was that one day I called, it was like 2 months after I called, and then I spoke to her, spoke to my siblings. And then when she got the phone again and he was talking to me, and I was like, okay, I'm fine now because I've spoken to my family. And then she said that, do you think the family is just here to listen to your voice? Don't you think that they want to see you? So I felt my mom has never spoken to me like that in my life. Like she has never spoken to me like that. So I actually felt really bad. So after I dropped the call, I went down, I cried for some time. I was like, what is really going on? That was a time where I knew that actually I needed to talk to someone, anybody.
Mm.
But before then I used to, when I felt that way, I would, just go buy my alcohol, I drink, and I get drunk, I sleep.
Do you know? Um, you're even one of the few people that has the. Somebody said, I don't want to miss that. Somebody said she missed you, Oga. Your mom missed you, and it's a guy. So hi, George. George says your mom missed you. That's why she said that.
Yeah, yeah, I understand.
But there's a survey that I read earlier this evening that 27% of men are more likely. So out of 100%, 27% of men can voice out the word "I am lonely." Only 27% of men. So what? So 73% of men will not say they are lonely. So you even fall in that category of the few men who own up to their pain. You understand? So give yourself a lot of credit for that, for even if you didn't put it out direct. And you know that feeling of of when you were talking about it, I was thinking of us bush fallers. There's so many of us bush fallers who have come and spent donkey years in bush, living Cameroon, all these expectations from that first of all, a lot of false expectations were sold to us about what bush is, and then even worse off to our parents, and then you come here and it's not what you imagined it would be, and you're here, you can't even do anything significant for your loved ones back home. And there's always that feeling of you've underachieved. I'm sure a lot of bush fallers can relate to your conversation, to that bit that you said right now. So many of us are sitting here like, I can't go back to Cameroon. I have nothing. I haven't achieved anything. Why should I? What do I have to go and give back? And they've missed out on spending time with their parents. I think we should all use MC Dibenja's mother's voice to say, you don't have to achieve. Your family back home misses you. It's not the cost. It's not the money. They want to see you. That's how much they love you. So thank you for that. You should be very proud of yourself speaking up on this. Yes, Sophie, you're right. Some people even commit suicide as a result of this. And coming on to the suicide bit, I couldn't find, what shocked me is that when I was looking on the data, and I've been looking on this data consistently, and there's no available data on African men and depression. There's a lot of data available on African American men, on white men. There is no available data on African men and depression. And this lack of data for me is very concerning, because number one, it means that no one is documenting our mental struggles. Nobody is documenting our mental struggles. And so we're all just grouped under the same category of being Black. But then even as being Black, our experiences are very distinct. So it's very concerning, and I hope that those of us in mental health fields could look into this and maybe, I don't know, sponsor some research, because no one is looking into this. And as the years go by, mental health crisis is really increasing on the rise. Would you say, MC Dibenja, would you say that you have this depression is unique to you, or you have noticed a lot of other young people around your age in Cameroon who are also depressed?
I can't. The thing is that, like, I was able to actually hide what I was going through from the people around me. It's difficult because guys will always not want to feel down. We will not always want to feel like we don't always want to open up to make people know that we are actually down. Especially especially our close people around us. We don't want them to maybe see us weak or something. But I was looking up at something back then, and then I looked at there are two different things now. There is the whole anxiety thing, and there's the whole depression thing. And what I've noticed is that many youths today are on that journey, like on that process to getting depressed.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of youths these days, guys in particular, are on that journey to getting depressed. So I usually make this post, right? I usually make posts. If you check on my timeline, sometimes I make them, I delete them. I usually make the post that a couple of weeks ago I'm making this post, and I said that this a lot should be done as regards mental health in this country. I mean, a lot of us are sick and we don't know it, and a lot of us are sick and we deny it. Some know that we are sick. Some of us know that we are sick and we deny it. Some of us don't even know that we are sick.
Yeah.
And that is the reason why Africa to some extent, I can say this country is less productive, because when you get to that point where you can no longer handle it, right?
Yeah.
It becomes something else. And there are a lot of people. There are crazy things happening in the country these days. This one has killed this person. This person has committed suicide. This person has cut off the wife's leg and stuff like that. Those are the things that are cases of mental health. Some people say no, it's witchcraft or something, but it's not. Majority of them are cases of mental health. I mean, I've gotten to a point where I stood one day, and then, so before I quit my job, I make a hit, because all of that actually. So one day I was at the house. our company house in Douala. I was managing Leslie at that time. So I got back from the house to the house, and I was feeling my nerves, like everything on my head, everything was like was falling down. So I was feeling so crazy that day, like maybe I should just give up. I should just let everything slide. And then suddenly this person walks up to me and confronts me, and we start this argument. And something came to my head that day that I've never in my life, I've
Mm-hmm.
never had that kind of a thing come to my head. But I looked around, I was trying to look for anything that I could lay my hands on. You know,
To hurt.
anything that I could lay my hands on to actually hurt that person. But just few seconds, like somebody intervened few seconds after, right? And I
Mm-hmm.
saw and I saw myself sitting down, and I pictured everything that happened that has transpired in the space of in a split second. That is the point where if you are not careful, if you are not lucky, not even about careful, because when you are going through a situation like this, there's no word like careful,
Yeah.
because sometimes you just react based on how you feel. It's not about you're not careful or something.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm not
You,
I'm not saying that I'm strong. I'm not saying that up to this point, I'm still struggling for sleep. I still have sleep difficulty. I
but
haven't.
you,
People who know me, people who have my contacts, they know that I'm a night jar, because you get up at 6 a.m. in the morning, you see me online. I'm just there.
Dibenja, how did
It's
you
just there.
Dibenja, how did you know? At what point did it click to you that maybe I'm depressed?
It's gonna come again.
At what point did you know that what you were feeling was depression?
Okay, I got in contact with a friend that's in the US,
Mm-hmm.
long time friend. He's in the US. So I was discussing with him some before the incident with my mom happened. So
Mm-hmm.
he said that he had his friend who I could talk to if I needed someone to talk to, because he wanted to talk to me. He was like, whenever you need someone to talk to me. I'll listen. I told him that you don't
Mm-hmm.
understand. I cannot talk to you. So I told him that you don't understand. I cannot talk to you. So we started actually got into a quarrel, into like a small fight. So the next day, he sent me a link, you know, that I should subscribe on something. That he had subscribed something for me. That I should just click on
Mm-hmm.
the link. He has used my email to subscribe on something. So I should click on it. So when I clicked on it, there was this whole lecture on mental health, something like that, and stress, anxiety, depression, and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So and then they said five symptoms. There are some five symptoms that you get. You had these five symptoms like this, like this, like this. You have sleep disorder. Either you sleep too much or you sleep less. Uh, either you don't have appetite. You know, either you sleep too much or you sleep less when you don't have appetite, and then you feel just feel angry sometimes. you know so those are
Mm-hmm.
some of the symptoms some of the symptoms that were on the platform. So I
Mm-hmm.
was when I got to the link. When I got to the link, I actually went through it, and then I told him that, okay, I need to talk to somebody. Like, he has a friend like that I need to
Now
talk
we've
to.
lost
So
you.
when I went through it,
Let's hope that he comes back.
okay, yeah. So when I spoke to the guy, to Jonas, and then he gave me some exercises, asked me a couple of questions. I didn't actually just say to myself that, what, I'm depressed. I
Okay.
didn't get it one morning. I didn't get it one morning. I said to myself, I'm depressed. I actually
Mm-hmm.
had a fight with a friend. I actually had a fight with my friend who was trying to imply to that dimension, like, okay, maybe all these things in your head. Maybe you should chill down. Maybe you should take life easy. Maybe you're overwashing, trying to watch things. Because I was
Mm-hmm.
just feeling. I just told him. I was just telling him that I feel like I'm out of this show, and this is months after. I'm not. I don't have money. I don't have money to do to want the things I have to want. Look, I have these things I have to do. I'm not doing it. I was always worried, like always angry at all the times, at all points. So he actually said that I need to talk to somebody. Like, he has a friend like that I need to talk to. So when he sent the link, it was when I was talking to this guy, Jonas, and when I spoke to him throughout the process, he started telling me that this is what it is, this is what it is, this is what it is. And that he was the one who actually told me that these are the symptoms. Do you feel this? I said, yes. Do you feel this? Like this? So that process.
Mm-hmm.
It was really, yeah. So,
That's interesting, and it's good that the friend recognized it. But then now that you kind of understand how people hide it. Um, how are you able to recognize it in others? Do you think?
yeah, I have a friend, but I have a friend I was talking to the other day. I was talking to after I made the post because he did not know what I was going through. So after I made the post, and then he walked up to me and he was talking to me, and I was like, okay, now he asked me a couple of questions like, how do you know that you are depressed? And how do you know that this is not just something you're feeling? Like maybe sometimes, because sometimes once in a while in a man's life, you get to have that moment, that point in your life where you just feel like things are not moving. Don't you think
Yeah,
that's just a temporary thing? A temporary thing. I started asking. So I did the same thing that I was the same exercise that he did to me. Like we kind of exchange words and stuff like that. I
yeah.
discovered that okay, dude, you're on your way to this. But I
But you
really,
see,
yeah,
that's the beauty of awareness, right? And knowledge.
yeah,
And this is why we
yeah,
continue to do shows like this, because we need to get mental health into people's everyday conversations so that they can recognize it, and they can recognize it in others and maybe save their life. So that's
yeah.
really good. I like that. But so looking around, I mean, this is you young people, right? You kind of get it now because you but do you think that your parents and the younger generation, the younger ones behind you, do they get it? And since you've been depressed in your case, have you been able to talk to your mother about it, that you're depressed? Did you talk to your mom?
So when I went to see my mom, I didn't actually go to the extent of like, telling her like, I was depressed and stuff. So I went to visit her when I finally got the courage to go visit her. So I went to visit her and then, so she looked at me and then, moms, they always notice something with you. I was going pale and everything, going thin and
And it's in
dark
your
and
eyes.
everything. So,
Your eyes
yeah.
don't lie. It's in your eyes.
Yeah. So when I actually went to the house to visit my mom, she looked at me with my kid sister. We have just one girl in our house, my kid sister. When they looked at me, they noticed the whole changes that was in me, but didn't say anything.
Mhm.
I don't know why they didn't say anything. So it was after a few months when I was going through the whole process, and then I just visited home once in a while. So when I went to the house one day, and then my kid sister looked at me and said that, I don't face so. That's the kind of here you just did this some kind. So and then my mom kind of said my mom kind of said the same thing. Like, okay, yeah, it's true. When you came here, you were all looking like someone who was, being abandoned in some wasteland or something like that. So, and then I sat my mom down. I told her that, you know what, I've been going through a lot. Like, you all just sit here. The reason why I don't come here sometimes, I don't like coming here sometimes. I just wanted to settle my own things in my head and everything because I've been going through a whole lot. And I explained. I didn't actually go into detail. Into detail. I didn't actually go because the thing is with some of us, right? We actually don't. We actually did not have. I didn't grow up in a home where you had the freedom to express yourself in a particular way.
Yeah.
So actually, we talked to my mom to some extent, but I
Mhm.
didn't actually go talking to her some deep kind of things that because a lot of things that I actually faced during that process that
Mhm.
I really can't talk about, really can't
Mhm.
talk about. So, but in some extent, the only person I can talk about, yeah, your mom, you can talk about, but still, I didn't have that. I get into my teenage years, get into my
Yeah.
20s. I wasn't with my parents. I didn't grow up with my
Yeah. Yeah.
mom and stuff like that. So I just came back after I was already in my 20s, and then I already exposed to so many things and alone on my own
Yeah.
adventure experience. I learned most of the things out of experience, like all of us here in this country learn.
And a lot of us still learn, and we're still learning. We have Constance who is joining us. Constance, I'm going to bring you to the stream now, okay? So you have to unmute. Hi,
Okay.
Constance. Should I call you Dr. Constance? Con-
Ever. Okay.
Constance, where are you joining us from tonight?
I'm joining from Johannesburg, South Africa.
Hi. How's Johannesburg? What time is it there? I have no idea.
It's 20 minutes to 10 p.m.
Okay, so you're 2 hours.
Hi, 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 Constance.
Hi, MC Dibenja.
So,
Oh,
so
call my name right.
Of course, I'm a Cameroonian, so.
I mean, you still have Cameroonians who cannot really call your name right.
Oh,
So Constance actually knows a lot of you. Actually, the reason why, apart from that, she works in public health, but she made a post coincidentally today as well, and talking about depression in young people. And I was just like, Constance, don't miss this opportunity to come on the show and share what you know. So, Constance, you've heard MC Dibenja's story. What do you want to say? What could you say to him? And what can you say about it to those of us young people, those of us parents and young people also who are watching? So speak to him, speak to us.
thanks, Goreti. This this is actually a surprise, your show. I never knew I was going to be live, but thank you for the opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I have spoken a little bit about depression, but just a disclaimer, I'm not a non-communicable disease specialist. I'm more
Mm-hmm.
in this. So, but I think the issue of depression, it's quite, I would say, it's a huge problem, a huge, huge problem across all gender and all age groups. It's just that in men, unfortunately, I joined late, so I didn't really get the full story of Dibenja, but I picked up a few things of his depression state that he went through, maybe in the previous years. And I completely agree with you that depression is indeed a very huge problem that is actually underreported. There are a lot of people who go through so much. And I think for men, it's quite a challenge to speak out because there's that popular saying that big boys don't cry. So
Yeah,
so you find that men, young men, even old men actually go through so much that they just cannot say it out in public.
Mm-hmm.
Even it'll be so hard to see a man's tears drop down his eyes.
Yeah,
No,
Dibenja, Constance, let me interrupt you there. Dibenja, did you, would you ever cry to your friends? Or did you ever cry like this, like tears run down your face to any of your friends when you were going through this? Or did you even cry with yourself when you were alone? Did you ever cry?
for me, I'm not that kind of person who don't cry. I cry. When something hurts me, I cry. I
Okay.
really cry.
But have you ever cried in front of your friends with or
Yeah, I've cried.
with what
I've
you're
cried.
going
Yeah, I've cried. I've cried in front of a couple of people.
through? Okay.
Yeah,
So yeah, a man who is in touch with his emotions. Okay.
very,
Go
very.
on, Connie. Mm-hmm.
yeah, so crying is a great thing, Dibenja. It's they say if the tears are there, let them out because it comes as a form of therapy. When you shed those tears, you can actually feel some relief from the pain that you are going through. But yeah, on a general note, yeah, men, they feel, or they have been, not that they feel, I guess, so for most men they want to speak out, but then the impression is that as a man you need to man up,
Yeah,
literally. Yeah,
yeah,
you cannot show your emotions in public. You
yeah.
cannot show emotions in front of a woman. Then it portrays you as a weaker vessel, but that is so untrue, because the same pain that you as a man go through will be the same pain that I as a woman will go through. So, in as much as women are more expressive of their emotions, I mean, again, it's not all women that will even be as expressive as others will be.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a good thing to speak out because depression is a silent killer. Depression has led a lot of people into suicide. You know, I lost a colleague sometime a few years ago. May his soul continue to rest. It just out of depression. So
Yeah. On that note, Constance, I couldn't find again data on African men, but in the UK, do you know that every 2 hours a man tries to commit suicide? Every 2 hours.
Wow.
Obviously, we don't have statistics for Cameroon because I guess in our culture, we death is never we are kind of raised to know that death is not the way out, and we express it in different forms. But in the UK, it says men are 3 times more likely to kill themselves than women. Three
and,
times.
and
So yeah, go on.
no, I'm saying exactly that. That's true. That's very true. I mean, the ratio of African American men that are depressed and even actually carry on to committing suicide, it's alarmingly high.
Mhm.
And there's definitely a dire need for more focus on mental health issues, because it comes in different forms, you know.
Honestly. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for spending this time with us, Connie. I know you just came back from work. I just really wanted your input, and we're definitely going to let you go. But thank you so much. What would be your final words to MC Dibenja?
I guess maybe I can put my video so that he can see the person talking to him
The
while I'm
Constance.
while is the words. So yeah, just to say thank you for speaking out. I'm
Mhm.
not sure if you've had the opportunity to express yourself other than on this platform, but it is a great step. You know, they say a problem shared is a problem half solved. So when you speak out, it goes a long way into just helping relieve that tension, that pressure, that worry, that fear that you have in you. So I just want to applaud you for speaking out, and I hope other men who may be going through either a similar problem as you or other even bigger issues. You know, sometimes they say you you think that you've got a problem until you hear the problem of another
Other people's
person.
fault.
Exactly. Then you
Yeah.
know your problems are, in short, you don't even have problems. You know, a lot of people are going through so much, and I think for some they feel that just bottling it in, it's a solution, but no, it's not a solution. It's a silent killer because it leads to hypertension and other chronic conditions, and worst of all, it can lead you to suicide. So thank you so much for speaking out, and I hope and pray that other people, both men and women, can actually look at you as a good example and also speak out if they have any issues. Because if you're sick and you don't go to a doctor cannot be in his office and be able to diagnose whatever problem you're going through. But until you speak, then you get the right kind of help that you need. Thank you. And
Thank you.
thank you,
Thank you so
Goretsi,
much.
for for hijacking me.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank I really appreciate it, Constance. All right. Enjoy your evening. Bye.
Bye.
So thank you. Thanks. So MC Dibenja, I am so glad that we are having this conversation with you. And honestly, I am so thankful that whoever advised you, was it your therapist, whoever advised you to share your story. I really thank them. I thank you for actually taking the steps, because that's the first way to healing. When did you realize that it was time for you to seek professional help?
Like I said, when my guy actually spoke to me, he directed me to another person, directed me to somebody, and directed me to a platform where I went to. I was subscribed to something, and then I was listening. I was following these storms. I was following the videos. I was reading articles and stuff. And when the first day I actually he registered for with someone. He registered this other thing because he needed a Mastercard and everything to do it on the platform, on a certain platform. So he actually did everything and signed up. it was the argument that I had with him. It was that argument that day, that fight that we had, that led to everything that happened after that. Like me getting to talk to someone who would advise me on professional help and stuff. It was after the argument that I had with him that actually went to that dimension. I didn't just get up and say, okay, you know what, I need to seek professional help. I didn't actually know what was going on. I just felt like the only thing I needed at that point in time was money. You know, that's what I knew in my head. Like, you know what, I just need money. If you want to talk to me, if you have if you know you want to help this problem, just give me money or talk to me. Or if you want to talk to me, talk to me. I mean, because I was, like I said, I was lonely in the midst of people. I just thought, okay, maybe these people. I just kept feeling just work environment. So at one point in time, I didn't have these I could talk like personal, like person to that point. I didn't actually feel that. So
Yeah.
that's it basically.
But so how did the therapist help you?
So I had a couple of exercises. I had a couple of exercises. I had books to read. I watched videos. And then I had things that I didn't. I had people or things that I actually feared. I had things that I actually feared, but I kept. For example, my son. I have a son. I have a 6-year-old son. You know, So he was like one of those people that could actually I was having advice like, so okay, who could I easily talk to that could feel better sometimes. So it was him. So I kept calling often because I didn't at one point in time I didn't call. I would not used to call. I would just be I'd be like a morning before I call and stuff. So I actually started calling like often, like almost daily. Started talking to my family like daily, talking to my mom like daily and stuff, and started doing some other activities and going out. I could go out. I could spend days just be me, just be inside. So and then one of the things that actually made I discovered that that's why I love what I do because my whole presenting and everything, I love it because it helps me a lot. I usually put in my status that I usually post it on my status and say that I live for this. And sometimes people don't understand why I would say that I live for this. It's because at that point in time, I discovered that it was my getaway.
Yeah.
Like, I just wanted to be in front of the camera at all time. I just wanted the camera to be holding it. I wanted to be talking in front of the camera all the time at that point in time. That's one of the reasons why I quit my job as a manager at Nikki Heat. Because there I was fine. I was fine there. But the reason why I quit because I was not doing what I wanted to do. I was not doing what was me.
Yeah.
I loved the job. I was being paid. The salary could help me, but I was not at that point in time. I needed to do that thing that makes me smile. That
Yeah.
thing that I'm happy
It
doing.
was
So those are
it was
it was,
for your
it
sanity.
was yes. So I actually quit the job at Mickey Heat and focused on my show and stuff. So that those are some things that I actually did, the activities that I could actually go on, and then the countless number of talks, chats, discourse, like it was like a friendly kind of thing. Try to make friends, try to talk to more people. Talk, make friends, just make friends, go out there. Even though it's not my thing, like up to this point, I'm just trying to. I've met amazing people. Yeah, I've met amazing people, and okay, this is I'm a good friend. People who have been good to me, but I really cannot keep the relationship. Because it's a thing of me, not just today. It's a long time thing. I don't know how to keep that friendship because I was always you keep a friend. It's a problem for you at home. So all of that. I mean,
I get that very well because you know how we say your childhood kind of shapes who you are.
you are.
Yeah, I get that bit about not building long-term relationships like it's not that it's trusting people enough to bring them into you because I feel like a lot of us, and I think I speak for myself, I don't know about you, but we have a persona that we present to the world. That's the what the world knows is not what we are behind closed doors. So I know that very well. Like I said, I speak for myself. And I'm
Yeah.
Gemini, so I'm a Gemini. So I'm literally two human beings. Like the person there's a persona I can comfortably present to the world. That's certainly not who I am behind closed doors. But that's a form of protecting you. You
Yeah.
do that to protect you. You understand? So I really get that, and I get that.
One
And
experience that I had that was okay. That was when I knew that okay, this thing was really getting out of hand. I mean, I got it one morning, one day, before getting to the Big Brother show and everything. I had a girlfriend. I was dating this person, and so I went to the show. Whatever happened, there was a whole issue between me and other girl in the house, and then got back, and then she was mad, and everything that happened. So I came back. I was trying to build a relationship already. So that too was another stress I was adding to what I was going through. So at one point in time, she got up one day and then she asked me like because I was always getting angry. I had nothing to be precise. She can testify to that. My ex, she was like, "Do you have anger issues?" That was the way she was seeing it. She was looking at it as though I had anger issues. I mean, it's somebody that we have been for some months before I got into the show, and she has never noticed me having anger issues. And then suddenly, maybe the show actually helped help her see that I actually had anger issues. So I just got up one day and I invited her over, and then I put nothing, like nothing really. I just told her that I don't want us to have to do this anymore. And then it was then the next day I'm back to my senses. Like I'm thinking that I'm trying to figure out what happened the day before that day that actually caused and made that decision. So
mhm,
that was just, and then from that time, it was just like, you know what? No, this thing is getting something. It's getting crazy. Doesn't have this. You're just angry for no reason.
yeah,
You're getting furious. Like everything around you just gets you mad. I had countless. I live with my keyboard. I had countless number of, you know, I had countless number of fights with my keyboard. Like for no good reason. I just go up and look
yeah.
at him sometimes. I'll be like, why you sitting here? You used to be out there. You used to go and hustle. You need to go. Like I just, I honestly, it was crazy. It was a crazy experience. It's something that
But I'm just glad that you're healing. I know because a friend of mine, I just shared this the show to one of the groups, and obviously the title of our show is How Do African Men Battle Depression and Suicidal Thoughts. And a guy's response was drink it away.
exactly. So one
Drink.
person who noticed that I usually drink was my friend Collins. So Collins actually talked to me out a lot of times, tried to talk me out of drinking. You know,
Mhm.
up to this day, up to today, I still have that. But even though I'm trying to work on it, like I just want. At that point in time, I wanted to just feel higher up at every given time. Just feel
Mhm.
like when you feel like just get drunk, you might not get to feel all this pain. You might not get to think about all these things. So every time Collins will call me, he'll call me when I'm drinking. I'm not drinking some whiskey, I'm drinking beer or something. So it was like, dude, you're destroying your own self. But I will never tell him that this is why I'm drinking. I just tell him that I'm having my fun. I'm living my life.
Mhm.
So not until the day I made the post, and then he was like, "Okay, you
Now I
get it."
get it. So
Yeah,
now maybe you can be an ambassador. You can really take it upon yourself to look at notice your the friends, the people around you, who are probably depressed but don't have the right word or don't know how to articulate how they're feeling.
yeah. So I plan on actually. I don't want to say start anything on my own. I just want to. I'm open to work with anybody who. They suddenly contacted me the other day, and she has a foundation that has to do with mental health and everything. So,
Mhm.
I'm actually willing to anybody who's watching, like, okay, you have something that is geared towards mental health. I mean, before now, I've been talking about it all the time. Like, okay, we need to pay a lot of attention to mental health, especially when it comes to guys. We are raising. Somebody made a post the other day on Facebook and said that we are raising a great deal of crazy men, crazy bitter guys in Cameroon today because there's a lot that is going through the system on its own. Even the country on its own is not an easy country to survive in.
Yeah, yeah,
So all those things are accumulated and then poured on you, and it's crazy. And so if nothing is done with it, and you discover that those are some of the departments that the government needs to, invest in. If they are doing recruitment, if they are training people, they should train more people for this field. I mean, to be able to identify cases like that so that they could help people. Because I really look at myself and I don't think that, because I've seen other, I've watched maybe movies, I've heard stories of people being
Yeah.
depressed, and I don't think that I was even one quarter of what some people are going through out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I imagine the things that I went through, the things that I'm still going through. Because I cannot tell you that 100% I feel okay, that I feel
No,
fine.
it's too
I
soon.
did the post because I did that post because it was part of the, well, you know what, just say something, speak it out, and you will feel better. You
Yeah.
feel better. So that's why I did that. It's not like I'm fine. So if I think that, if because there's a particular stage. I don't know, I've questioned the way you call this thing, but it has stages. So I feel like I was still at a very premature stage, right? And
Mhm.
if I could be at that stage and I could actually feel what I was going through, I could actually feel the effect of it all. Talk
Mhm.
about then, what about somebody who is in a chronic depressed state, right? What are they going to feel like? So I think there's a lot should be done as respect to mental health,
Mhm.
because it's very important. A lot of people need our help out there, and I'm not a specialist in it. I might have gone through it, but I cannot really completely tell
But your
when
story is
somebody's
very
going through it.
powerful. Your story is very
Yeah.
powerful. Your story
You know,
is very powerful.
someone who is who's an expert in it could be able to identify it. So we need more of this kind of people, and I'm open,
Yeah.
to work with people who have foundations, organizations
And talking about
like
working
this.
with people, you have a lot of experience in working, because I know, congratulations, by the way, because I see that now you're now part of Team Glam Media. So, well,
Yeah,
you're doing well for yourself, and you know your merch. I know, if you don't know, Dibenja runs this sunglasses line in Cameroon called Dan Merch. So if you're in Cameroon, or if you're ever going to Cameroon, you have to make sure you get. They are really cool glasses.
yeah,
You,
something like this.
yeah,
This is one of
yes,
them.
something like that. They're really
It's
cool.
made out of bamboo. It's made out of bamboo and plastic. Yeah, and then the glass.
Okay,
So yeah, and then we're getting towards making everything bamboo. All around it. We're getting towards making
nice.
everything become bamboo. So the months ahead, we're going to be doing everything bamboo.
Yeah. So B is telling you that if it's any consolation, I walk with a bag of tears and don't hold back with it. So I see nothing wrong with this. So, but tell us a bit about, how did you leave from, how did you leave from going through this depressive this, I'll call it a bout of depression, to Dan Merge, and now working with what's it called, with Glam Media, and what you do for Glam Media. And I know that you have your own show, Dibenja Chronicles.
Develop challenges.
Yeah, Dibenja Challenges. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. So the initial idea of Dibenja challenges was that we're going to talk to people on the challenges they face, the difficulties that they're going through, and whatever you're doing, in whatever career you find yourself, you're an artist, you're an actress, whatever you're doing, you're an entrepreneur, the challenges that you go through, that was the initial whole thing of the show. But though we kind of like along the line, we kind of went out of the editorial. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, before I got into Big 227, I met Glam Queen. So Joyce, Mommy Joyce Foy, I met her on Facebook. So
Mm-hmm.
she kind of said, she got to me through a post that a friend of mine made, Benoit Pure Juventi. So she said
Mm-hmm.
she was interested in what I do. She wanted to really work with me. I mean, she
Mm-hmm.
wanted to work with me and stuff. So and then she was like, okay, now I'm going for the show, because everybody expects that when you go to the show, you come back, it should be some big deal. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
because we have experienced that from neighboring Nigeria, so everybody knows that when you get to the show and come back, it should be a very big deal. So
Yeah.
she said that she really want to work with me, but if I get into the show and come back and I feel like, okay, maybe I'm a big deal, I don't want to work with her, it's okay. So I told her, no, you know what, I'm going to work with you, like
Mm-hmm.
no matter what happens. Because when I got to know her, she was a very nice person. She was very nice to me. She was I explained my vision to her, the kind of things that I wanted, the kind of things I wanted to achieve. And she also explained her own vision to me, whatever she wanted to achieve with glam media and everything. So I kind of saw that those are two people who are starting something who can actually work together.
Yeah.
So when I got into the show, I got back. She actually helped me a lot before going to the show. Like when I got to the show, now I got back. I was already working for Nick Hit before I got back. But like I said, I was working as a manager and a PR. I was working as a PR before I went for the show, a PR for Nick Hit Entertainment. So when I got back, I was made the manager for Leslie. So when I was made the manager, I started working with Glam Media as a content writer. I was writing content for them and then hosting red carpets. And of course, like I explained, that's my thing, like talking to the camera, you know,
Yeah.
talking to the mic, and it's something that I actually like doing. So when I started working with Glam Media, it was great. So it actually helped me because I was going to events. I was going to events sometimes when I'm down, I go to events, host events, red carpets and stuff, or run my Dibenja challenge when I started running it. So that was basically it.
You see, you just remind me of that thing that we say all the time, and I don't think we even hear ourselves when we say it. That be kind to everyone you meet, because everybody you meet is going through something. Because people would be meeting you on the red carpet doing star boy things, and then nobody would guess that when the curtains are shut, your room goes really dark, your world goes dark. No one would guess. So I really I join my voice to that thing. Be kind to everyone you meet, because everybody you meet is going through something, you
Of
know.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so how then did Dan come about?
So I wanted to always, I've always loved glasses. Like
Mm-hmm.
for years now, I've been someone who eat with glasses, sleep with glasses, get up with glasses, go out with glasses, like do everything basically with glasses. So
Mm-hmm.
when I got out, I needed something. I wanted to do something that could be like, that could support me when I'm because I know when it comes to our whole entertainment thing in Cameroon, like the shows that we're doing, there's really nothing with it. There's really
Mm-hmm.
nothing. You see me on the red carpet and I'm smiling, taking pictures, hosting shows, and trust me, nothing is coming in. Like it's
Yeah.
just there, it's just for the glam and everything. So nothing is coming in. So I needed something that could support
But
that.
it's
So I
feeding
thought,
it's feeding your soul for you. In your
yeah,
case, feeding your soul. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I actually thought about what I could do actually. I thought about it for some time. Like what can I really come up with? What kind of business can I really come up with that could actually, stand like this, that could actually make it make sense. And I said to
Mm-hmm.
myself that if I want to do something, I should do something that I'm connected to. I shouldn't just jump into because everybody's doing something. I just want to, okay, you know what? I want to do this thing too. I should do
Mm-hmm.
something that I could freely do. I could do something
Mm-hmm.
that I could freely relate with. So I said to myself, like, okay, I look around me. I said to myself that okay, I like fashion. I like fashion. I like clothes and everything. But basically, we have fashion designers, we have design clothes, dress designers out there. We have people who are doing clothes, hoodies, t-shirts, and everything. I didn't want to just fit myself into the whole universe. I needed something out. And I started one day. I said to myself, like, you know what? Let me share the experience of wearing shades because my friends will always complain all the time, like, Masa, you always like wearing glass all the time. Okay, fine. Let's wear it together.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll be like, okay, let's wear it together. Let's share the experience, what I'm going through, what I'm feeling. I mean, I like it. I feel my swag when I'm wearing my glasses. I want you to feel your swag too. So
Yes.
let's share the experience. And then
Yes.
that's how Dan came about. So Dan, the full meaning of Dan is Dibenja Amos. Those are the initials of my son's names. So
Oh,
so
that's a nice
so yeah, so I was like, okay, if I'm starting something, at least I should start something that could like a
legacy. You're
legacy,
thinking in terms of
legacy,
legacy. Yeah,
yeah,
legacy
like a
building.
legacy. Yeah,
I
so
love
that's
that.
that's how the name Dan came about.
So where
There we
can we
are.
get the Dan merch, Dan
We have a
glasses?
we have a website www.danmesh.com,
Mm-hmm.
and you can get me on all our social media handles. Dan Mesh on Facebook, Dan Sunglasses on Instagram, and you can also send us an email at danmesh2014@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
So I used 2014. If you look at on our backs, you will see Dan Mesh 2014,
Mm-hmm.
Dan C 2014, because my son was born. I had my son in 2014. My son is 6 years old, so he was born in
Mm-hmm.
2014. So yeah, those are that's a trademark and everything. So
So it's
get me on any social media handle.
Dan merch I'm just
Yeah,
trying to share
www.danmesh.com. That's the website.
danmerge.com.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm beginning to read like my mom now.
You
Oh,
remember?
eight.
You remember? You remember? You
Oh,
said a couple of while ago. You said OH. You said OH is coming. I told you that.
oh, age is coming. I'm beginning to read like my mom. So I'll share that.
Yeah.
So it's scrolling on the banner, guys. So the website and his one of his social media handles. So check him out. Let's support this young man who, honestly, your story has been very moving to me personally. I could go on and on, but I think that, see, Brenda is saying something. Brenda says, today marks 2 years since I lost a dear friend of mine to suicide. 3 weeks ago, a close friend of mine survived suicide. So work needs to be done in Cameroon. It's no joke.
Of
And
course.
honestly, it is your Brenda, I have a personal story as well to a friend, who survived, who wanted to commit suicide in the UK here. So it's like we need to keep talking. We need to keep talking about mental health. We need to keep talking about it so that it stays in our everyday conversations, because I truly believe that if it becomes a part of our everyday conversation, then we have it now on the forefront of our mind, and then we look out for the signs. We'll be able to identify the signs in other people, and people will not be ashamed. The stigma will be removed from it, and people like Dibenja will not, worry or be afraid to put up posts and say, look, guys, I need help. I need somebody to talk to. I'm going through a rough patch. I'm going through a dark patch. Because in addition to Dibenja, Ambe, who is a top Cameroonian singer, and if you don't know about him, just go and Google him on YouTube and listen to his songs. And this boy, whom you would think, I know it's very tiny and you can't read it, um, would be on top of the world, shared on Twitter. I came across this when he shared it on Twitter, that he's been battling with my mental health, depression, but I'm healing much better now. But you would never know that, because you would think that he's doing all right. Between you and Ambe are public figures. You understand? And I would think that it's even harder for a public. Do you think that? Do you find that is it harder for a public figure to be honest about their feelings?
It's easy for us to say these things. I feel like it's easy for us to say these things because we already have a culture of when you're in the public, you already have a culture of talking out, saying things to the public,
Mhm.
relating with the public. But somebody who is not their thing, to relate, they'll find it very not okay to actually share their experience outside. Because, for example, someone like Ambe, he's an artist, right? He's an artist, celebrity that you always, when something's happening with Ambe, this thing has happened, Ambe has done this, Ambe has released this track, Ambe has a child, Ambe has this, Ambe has moved to this place. It's out there. It's out there. So it's easy for him or for me who is out there to actually say things like this out there. Even though people are gonna come at us really hard. People are gonna come
Exactly.
at you really
Yeah.
hard, really, really hard for saying that. But we would actually feel okay saying it more than somebody who is not in the media, because I feel like that's my personal life. I should just keep it to myself.
Hmm. Okay, because I would have thought that you will receive more backlash and more criticism and more, you're just seeking for attention, because
Of
I
course,
see
I've
that a lot
had
of
that.
Western
I've had that.
superstars. Yeah.
I've had crazy people come to my inbox and say those things, but you can't really understand what someone is going through unless you're there. So
Unless you're there. This
I
has
can't
been
blame you.
great. Thank you so much, Dibenja. Honestly, we will definitely revisit this conversation with you. We will definitely come back another time and talk a lot more and in more depth and see how we can, because we have to continue to raise awareness on this. Don't you agree?
Of course, we should. Like I said, I'm open to work with anybody who's working towards that light. I mean, we need to. I mean,
Mhm.
you see testimonies of people who have had friends who have gone through this process, and a lot needs to be done. A lot needs to be done. This is one thing that I would give up a lot of things
Mhm.
to attend something to talk about, just so it could help people.
Thank you. I think that as join my voice to the people in the comments who are saying that thank you for sharing your story, because your story is very, very powerful. And I hope that you continue to share your story. Every opportunity you get, you continue to, especially for those people who are back home. You have to continue to share their story so they can say a young, successful boy who seemingly has his, his life on track, but let them recognize that it happens to the best of us. Yep,
Yeah,
yep, it's
yeah. Thank you so
true.
much for having me. I mean,
No, what final word would you want to say to young boys like yourself and young girls, who may be going through this but have, like I said before, have not been able to articulate their feelings?
man, the highest thing I could say is that you should always try to talk to someone. You should always try to talk to someone. You should always be open about the way you feel. That is like I mentioned in the beginning. That some of the symptoms that you always have. You feel like you're under, like for example, some of the young men today, you feel like you're underachieved. You feel like you have this pressure to get a particular standard. You have sleep disorder. It's either you're sleeping too much or you're not sleeping at all. And
Mm-hmm.
I wish I was sleeping too much, but I was not sleeping. I don't sleep at all. That's my own case. You lose appetite. You not like food. Like you lose weight and everything that's happening in you. When all this is happening, please look for her. Try to seek help. Try to talk to someone who might know something about anything. And don't
Mm-hmm.
put yourself under any pressure. I mean, especially in this country, we all know
Especially
the
social media pressure, because
yeah,
everybody's living a perfect life on social media right now.
of course. Of course. I mean, when I made my post the other day, some it's a very close. It's like somebody I'm trying to mentor, and she came to me and then she was like, "Really, this is what you're going through?" And I'll be like, "Yeah." And then she said that you're always smiling, and I always, like somebody, I'm always like, "Okay, I want to be like you. I want to be where you are." I'm like, don't try to be like anybody. Don't even try to be like anybody.
Yeah.
Don't, because you don't know what that person is going through. I might, so
No.
one point in my, at my one point in my life, I must have thought like, okay, I want to be like this person. But ever since I went through what I went through or what I'm
Yeah.
going through, I realized that don't look at anybody on social media. I told somebody the other time that the highest time I post my pictures on my status when I'm smiling, like I post myself a lot on my status on WhatsApp, and the highest times that I will use all my pictures of myself is when I'm mad, when I'm in a very difficult
We're in
situation.
pain.
Yes, when I'm in pains, I just post my pictures, like just all pictures, just post all of them, just keep posting. And it automatically makes me feel better. And somebody look at it and you feel like, oh, this guy is so much on top of the clouds, like on top of the world and everything, but you don't know what I'm going through. You don't know what is happening.
Wow.
So let's be vigilant. Let's try to see how we could help ourselves. I mean, if the authorities that be that cannot see that, they get to train people to actually get to identify stuff like this. Let's help ourselves to identify these cases. Let's study it. So I'm trying to do some studies now, some reading, a little bit of research to see how we can easily identify cases and how I can possibly help someone. You know, I'm
It's
doing that
very
now.
important. We all need to understand, do our research on what mental health is, so that we can save somebody. But thank you so much. This has been good. And like I said, we will do this again. And if you're watching this show and you're suffering from mental health, and you don't know where to go to. If you're in the UK, I'm gonna leave a number, but I mean, just Google mind.gov.uk. So I'll get the website. But if you're in Cameroon, contact me, because I know a few therapists who are based in Cameroon now. We actually have a few. If you're going through mental health, contact Dibenja. Maybe
Yeah.
he can direct you to his therapist. Contact the Goretti Show. I will direct you to a few therapists that I know in Cameroon. And if you're in the UK, you can go through your GP. Your GP can help you. If you're in the US, I don't know, but there should be help available. A quick Google search often just answers all these questions.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
most importantly, don't be afraid to speak up. Kerry says that I play video games, listen to music to de-stress, and also hang out at the mall. Beer and cigarettes will cause more health issues. That's right. So don't drink it away, Cameroonian men or African men. If you're going to, you're
don't
feeling
smoke it
depressed,
away.
please don't drink it away, because it just it numbs the pain for a minute, and then you wake up in the morning with a hangover, and then even a darker day. So please
Yeah,
don't drink it away. Are you okay, Dibenja?
yeah, fine.
Your head. Okay, thank you so much. I'm gonna let you go. I really appreciate you.
Thank you so much for
We'll
having me.
definitely be in touch. And if you guys haven't checked him out, the website is scrolling. Check him out. His page is MC Dibenja on Facebook, because we're friends on Facebook, and then
Everywhere on social media, MC Dibenja. You
MC
can visit our
Dibenja.
website.
Check this young man out. He's really charismatic. He's very dynamic, and he will make a great MC for your event. He has that
Of
je ne sais
course.
quoi. You know that thing. Yes, he has it. So look him up if you have your events in Cameroon, and then just support his work on YouTube with Glam Media, and whenever you see his.
Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate you, MC Dibenja, and I'm gonna let
Thank
you
you very
go.
much. Thank you all for watching. Bye bye.
All right, bye. Honestly, guys, thank you so much for staying with us this evening. I am so glad that he chose to share his story with us, because it is not easy. It is not easy for people who go through any form of mental health. Should I call it a disorder? I'll just call it a challenge to actually speak out about it in public. So I really kudos to him. Like I was saying earlier at the start of the show, there is little or no statistics or data available on African men and depression. So I mean, this type of data is really, 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 really concerning to us, because there's so many ways it affects us, but two that come to mind for me is that, one, no one's documenting our mental struggles, the African person's mental struggles. We are all grouped under black, black. But even amongst the black, ethnic group, our experiences are very different. And so we need those of us who find ourselves in mental health to find a way to document our experiences with and our struggles with mental health, and our struggles with mental health. Also, if we have that data, then we can create more awareness using our data and telling how it affects us, and so that many of our boys, and our men who are walking around would know would be able to be signposted to help. So getting data for what they call it, for mental health challenges in African men is so important. I hope that someone takes that up. Somebody once asked me, and if depression the show for face. Well, there you have it. If you saw this young man, MC Dibenja, does he look? Just go check his social media. He doesn't look depressed. So depression need the show for face. Depression need the show for face. Mental health need the show for face. But I think what I will leave here is be kind. We need to be kind, because every single person that we meet is going through something. And if you're in the UK with me, the statistics are dire. Every 2 hours, a male commits suicide, or at least attempts suicide. Every 2 hours, think about it. Every 2 hours, a man tries to kill themselves. Every 2 hours, men in the UK are 3 times more likely to commit suicide than women. 3 times more likely to commit suicide than women. And lastly, 72% of men in the UK have gone through depression. 72%. So you could be sitting with your spouse, your brother, your son, and they're depressed and you do not know. So it's important that we continue to talk about this and make this a part of our everyday discourse. So on that note, I'm going to thank you for watching, and I hope you can share. And I think that Dibenja's story was so strong that you could share to any young person, and hopefully they will be encouraged by that. But thank you again for watching. Thank you again for listening. If you haven't already, I don't know where to be your problem, but please subscribe. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week, Wednesday, same time. Good night.